Hello and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I am so excited to bring you this particular episode because I have found a way to supercharge your portfolio. And this may be perfect for some of you that are considering retirement, but you're just not quite there. So I was visiting with one of my students in one of our one-on-one coachings. He's preparing for retirement and he is selling options just like I am. But he wanted to figure out a way to supercharge his portfolio so he could get to his goal faster. Well, as we were strategizing, I was able to stumble upon this particular strategy, and it was so wonderful. I wanted to make sure that I shared it with a wider audience. So it involves NVIDIA. Now, this can be done with any particular stock, but NVIDIA happens to be at a critical level of support right now, so it made it perfect for this example. But let me explain the various tools available, and then I'll tell you this specific one and how it's going to work. So all of you are familiar with purchasing a call, right? We've talked about that, and we've talked about how it is a little bit of a gamble if you are purchasing a short-term call and you are hoping that the stock goes in the direction of up and up quick. That's how it will help you gain money. If you've chosen incorrectly, then that's a bit of a risk and you could lose all the money you invested in purchasing the call. Now, I have shared with you that I love to use a particular trading vehicle called LEAPS. Crazy word, right? But basically, all it is purchasing a call that is a year or more out. And the best part about a LEAPS, well, it allows you to enjoy the stock movement price going up without having to actually buy 100 shares of the stock. But this particular vehicle that I am going to share with you today, I have nicknamed it Skip. It's a funny little analogy that has to do with leaps, but this is a skip. And the reason I call it a skip is I look at it as a safe way to keep increasing your profits. That's the acronym SKIP. You know, we love acronyms in the trading community. And here's how it works. Basically, you are looking at purchasing a call that is anywhere from 3 to 6 months out to help supercharge your portfolio. Now, it only works if a stock is at a critical level of support and you believe that it will continue to rise over the coming months. In using a skip for NVIDIA at this point in time, I have been able to discover that if you were to take $11,500 to invest in NVIDIA right now and buy 100 shares of it, you would enjoy a dollar for dollar improvement of your portfolio as NVIDIA started to go up. But with this particular vehicle, you can take less than $11,500 and you can multiply your gains by 4 for every dollar that NVIDIA rises. Does it sound too good to be true? Well, I'm going to show you the math behind it. We are going to go through when to use this particular strategy, how to select the right strike price and execute this particular strategy. I will show you all the math on the return, and then finally, I will explain to you what could go wrong so that you are fully aware of, if you use this strategy, what the risks are and you can make the best decision for yourself. The first order of business is when to use this particular strategy. Like I mentioned earlier, it's important that you consider using this strategy when you believe a stock is at a major level of support and it will be trending upwards in the next 2 to 3 months. That would be the time that you would want to consider doing this. Let's go look at the specific technicals on NVIDIA so that we can best determine why I felt like this would be a good time to deploy this strategy. If you look at the 3-month chart on NVIDIA, you can see that we are currently at about $116 a share. Well, the reason that this may be considered a good level of support is I want you to notice right here on the Bollinger Band, you can see here it's right in the middle, but it is sitting right on top of the 50-day moving average. Now, the 50-day moving average serves as a great line of support for a quality stock. The other thing to consider is that we are currently at 50 on the RSI, so that means we still are in a bullish state with this stock. When you are 50 or above on the RSI, hence in a bullish state for a stock, it is appropriate to consider using the 50-day moving average as a good line of support. Well, like I said, we're sitting right on top of that. Now, the thesis is that NVIDIA will bounce off of this line of support and continue moving upwards. If you see NVIDIA break below this line of support, then you would want to wait to deploy the strategy or consider going down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which right now that sits at about 100. But at this point in time, I am going to use the 50-day moving average as the line of support to deploy this strategy. Next, I'm going to take you into the option chain so that we can look specifically for what we're interested in. So this strategy involves using a call option, a purchased call option that is 3 months out or longer. So in this scenario, I am looking at the expiration date of 12/20/24. When you go to the option chain, the one that stands out to me is right here at 110. If you notice, it has 203,000 in open interest and 1,000 in volume. So clearly there's a lot of interest in this particular call option. If you were going to purchase this call option, right now it has a 0.65 delta. Well, what does that mean? Here's what it means. If you are going to pay, let's say, $1,590 for this option because you take $1,590 and you multiply it by 100, that's how much this option would cost you. For every dollar that NVIDIA moves up, this will increase by 65 cents a share or $65. So if you bought this today and tomorrow NVIDIA moves up by $1, then this that you paid $1,590 for will actually be worth $1,655. And for every additional dollar NVIDIA moves up, it will increase by another $65 as long as the delta is 0.65. If you are going to deploy this strategy and you are dealing with an option that is 3 or more months out, consider looking at a 0.65 delta all the way up to a 0.7 delta. Now let's go look at the math to see how this may work to help you multiply your gains by 4 when looking at the price of NVIDIA going up by $1. If you wanted to purchase 100 shares of NVIDIA, right now, at this moment in time, that would cost you $11,600. If NVIDIA moves up by $1 from $116 a share to $117 a share, that would yield you an additional $100 for the price appreciation in your portfolio. But let's consider taking that same $11,600 and instead purchasing as many of these particular call options that we can. Right now, they are $1,590 each. So if we took $11,600 and divided it by 1,590, that equals 7.29. So we could take our money and we could go purchase 7 of these instruments. So here's how the math would work. Because you have 7 call options, you are now controlling 700 shares of NVIDIA. If NVIDIA rises by $1, then each of these particular call options will increase by $65. So here's how you do the math. You take 700 shares multiplied by 65 cents, because for every dollar NVIDIA moves up after you purchase this, then you will see 65-cent increase per share. If you do that, that equals $455. So if NVIDIA goes up by $1, instead of just enjoying $100 appreciation, you will now see your portfolio go up by $455. That is a 355% increase in the amount of money that you would enjoy for $1 price movement of NVIDIA. And now the fun part. Let's talk about what could potentially go wrong so that you are fully aware of the risk associated with this strategy. If you want to see the potential losses, I like to go to an option calculator and start crunching numbers. So if we purchase this $110 call and it's the December 20th expiration, then we could potentially lose 100% of our investment, which would be, at this point, $1,590 per call. But for that to happen, NVIDIA would have to go down and go down quick. If you want to see the various levels, let's look right here. If we purchase it right here at $116, and let's assume that by October 15th, NVIDIA goes down below $100 right here at 97, then you can see right here on this option calculator, at this point, you would be down $1,143. Now, if NVIDIA ended up recovering in short order, then you would be back in the green. So again, this strategy works best when a stock is at a critical level of support and you believe it will continue to rise. If you actually hold this particular option till the expiration date, then NVIDIA must be at 125.93 or higher for you to have a break-even trade. Now, if you're like me, you're not as interested in getting into a trade for a break-even situation. So you might want to consider taking profit at any time that you see that you have profit. Now, you definitely want to consider getting out of this trade if the price stalls out and is not moving higher, and you are about 45 days from expiration. It's important to note when you're purchasing a call option that the time decay does accelerate once you hit that 45th day before expiration. So take profits when you see profit. Now, recently, I have done this trade on some Tesla call options. And the way I am handling taking profit is I purchased more than one. So I had purchased 5 of these. And once I saw that we were in healthy profit, I took profit on a couple of them. I still am holding 3, and I am awaiting till it gets a little bit closer to the October robotaxi event. And I'm anticipating that Tesla might get above 250. Once it does, I will more than likely cash in the remaining 3. So it's a wonderful way to do it if you're purchasing more than one. You can start to stagger out of your position. As I was telling one of my students, it's a lot more frustrating to lose money than to know you left money on the table. So if you are purchasing one of these call options, don't hesitate to take profit. There's always going to be another opportunity right around the corner where you can make more money. I hope you found this helpful and it opened your eyes to a new way to supercharge your portfolio. If you would like more access to me on a regular basis, consider joining my Discord community. We have a bustling group of serious, like-minded traders. We're all helping each other grow in the learning process, and we're just having a lot of fun. Also, there's only a few spots left in my upcoming bootcamp, so if you're interested in that, you might want to go ahead and jump on that opportunity sooner rather than later. Consider joining Trading with Ashley, where no trader's left behind.